Big changes are coming for UK pensioners starting August 1st, 2025, and if you're not prepared, your benefit payments could be delayed, suspended, or stopped altogether. The Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, has quietly introduced new bank verification rules that apply to millions of people receiving means-tested benefits, and the consequences of not complying could be more serious than many pensioners realize. This isn't about scaremongering. It's about staying ahead of a major policy change that could affect how and when you receive your money. If you're over 66 and on any DWP-related pension benefit, this video is for you. Let's break it down in plain English, step by step, so you don't miss anything important. So what's happening exactly? As part of the new Fraud, Error, and Debt Bill, which was passed earlier this year and takes effect fully on August 1st, 2025, the DWP will begin checking pensioners' bank accounts more closely, not to see how much money you have, but to confirm that the account you're being paid into really belongs to you. This is a targeted effort to cut down on benefit fraud and overpayments. But for thousands of honest claimants, it could also mean increased scrutiny and, if not handled correctly, unexpected payment problems. Let's be clear from the start. This does not apply to all pensioners. If you're only receiving the state pension, you are not directly affected by these checks. But if you receive any means-tested support, such as pension credit, housing benefit, universal credit for mixed-age couples, or income-based ESA, then you will be affected by these new rules. The DWP now has legal powers to request information from banks to confirm the name on the account matches the benefit claim record. If there's a mismatch, say, if you're using a joint account where your name isn't listed first, or if a relative manages your finances, your payments could be stopped until the issue is resolved. One of the biggest points of confusion is about joint accounts. The DWP has stated that joint accounts are not banned, but they will be looked at more carefully. If there's any doubt about who the main account holder is, or if your name doesn't match DWP records exactly, that could trigger an eligibility verification notice. From there, you may be asked to provide proof that you own or share the account, and this is where delays can occur. If you don't respond quickly, or if you're unsure how to, you could be left waiting for weeks for your money. This brings us to the main risk, administrative errors. A simple typo, a nickname instead of your legal name, or an outdated record in the DWP system could flag your account unnecessarily. And we all know how slow the system can be when paperwork goes wrong. To avoid any issues, pensioners are being urged to check their banking and DWP records now. Don't wait until August when the rules are live and the lines are jammed. So what exactly should you do? First, check that your bank account details match exactly with what's on file at the DWP. This includes your full name, spelled correctly, and the account number and sort code. If you're not sure, call the pension service or check your DWP online account. Second, if you've changed banks recently or updated any personal information, make sure the DWP has been notified. A surprising number of pensioners assume that if their payments are still coming in, everything must be fine. But that's not always the case. The new system may catch outdated records even if you haven't noticed a problem yet. Third, if you manage someone else's finances, for example, if you're a carer or power of attorney, be prepared to provide documentation proving your authority. The DWP has said it will work with carers and appointees fairly, but with more bank account checks coming, it's important to have everything ready in advance. Let's also talk about what these changes are really about. According to DWP estimates, fraud and error in the welfare system cost the UK taxpayer over £8 billion last year. That includes everything from deliberate fraud to simple mistakes. With pressure growing to reduce government spending, the DWP is targeting areas where they believe overpayments happen most, and pension-related benefits are high on that list, especially pension credit, where claims can be complicated and older claimants may have difficulty navigating digital forms. Now, we've seen a lot of panic on social media, with people claiming that pensioners must open new bank accounts or that DWP will seize your money if you don't comply. That's not true. There is no law saying you must open a new bank account, and the DWP cannot take your money. However, if they cannot verify your account ownership, they are within their rights to pause your payment until you provide evidence. That's why clarity and preparation are your best protection. But there's more. The DWP will also begin cross-referencing bank account data with other departments, including HMRC and the Home Office. This is part of a wider digital transformation project aimed at reducing fraud across all public services. While that might sound efficient, it also increases the risk of false flags. If, for example, your name is spelled differently on a tax return versus your benefit claim, it could cause confusion. And here's a very important point. If your circumstances have changed recently, for example, if your partner has passed away, if you've separated, or if you've moved and you didn't update your benefit claim, now is the time to do it. Under the new system, inconsistencies between what you told the DWP and what shows up in your financial data may trigger a review. So what happens if you get a letter or message from the DWP asking you to verify your bank account? First, don't panic. These requests are not accusations of fraud. They are simply asking for confirmation. You'll be given time to respond, usually 14 to 28 days, and you may need to send in a bank statement or ID documents. If you don't understand a request, you can call the DWP helpline or get free help from Citizens Advice or Age UK. We also need to talk about pensioners who aren't online. If you don't use a smartphone or computer, or if you're helping someone who doesn't, make sure you have a system in place for checking letters and responding quickly. These verification notices will be time-sensitive, and delays could mean payment disruption. Let's summarize what you need to do. Check your bank account details today. Make sure the name matches your DWP claim exactly. If you use a joint account, ensure you're listed as a named holder and that the DWP has those details on file. Update the DWP immediately if you've had any changes in personal circumstances, including address or marital status. Watch for any letters or verification requests starting August 1st and respond promptly. If in doubt, get support from an official source, not random online advice. The big takeaway: these new rules are not about punishing pensioners. They're about tightening a system that has lost billions. But unless you're aware and proactive, you could become an accidental victim of these changes. At UK Pension Desk, we'll continue breaking down complicated updates like this into simple, honest advice so you can protect your income and live your retirement with peace of mind. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share this with anyone you know who's on pension credit, universal credit, or ESA. The best way to protect yourself is to stay informed. Now, why is this happening now? Over £8 billion is lost each year due to benefit fraud and error, and with the rise of scams and false claims, the government is under pressure to tighten the system. While that's understandable, the concern many pensioners have is that these new checks could unintentionally punish the honest people who rely on these payments to survive. The DWP has said they'll take a common-sense approach, but we've seen in the past that even small technicalities can create big problems for claimants, especially older adults who may not be as tech-savvy or who rely on family members to manage finances. So here's the bottom line. This isn't meant to scare you, but to prepare you. Most pensioners will be fine, but only if your details are accurate and up-to-date. By taking 5 minutes now to check your records and make sure everything matches, you can save yourself days or even weeks of financial stress down the road. If you help care for someone receiving benefits, now's a good time to assist them in checking their account as well. And if you're unsure what to do, reach out to Age UK, Citizens Advice, or your local council. They can guide you through the process at no cost. At UK Pension Desk, we're committed to keeping you informed about these silent changes, the ones that don't make front-page headlines but can impact your retirement more than you think. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon so you're the first to know when the rules change again. Because one thing's for sure, the system is changing fast, and staying ahead means protecting your money, your benefits, and your independence.